Can artificial intelligence boost our productivity as human beings, or is it a threat to our jobs and livelihoods? Today, we shall talk about unleashing artificial intelligence, powered process automation, and what it means. So let me introduce you to my guest and friend, Thomas Hanson. Thomas is Danish. However, he has lived and worked on 4 continents over the past 25 years, including South Africa, Turkey, Thailand, and now in the United States for the past 12 years. Thomas describes himself as a lucky guy who's been around in enterprise software for decades, working for, amongst others, Microsoft, Dropbox, Carbon Black, VMware, and now with UIPath as Chief Revenue Officer or CRO. Welcome, Thomas.
Thank you, Ali. It's great to be here.
So, Thomas, let me ask you my first question. Today, we are talking about artificial intelligence-powered RPA, or robotic process automation. In a few words, can you tell us what is RPA?
You bet. So, UiPath is fundamentally reshaping how people work. And the essence of RPA is the ability to emulate what a human would do on a computer. So think of it as the reading, the clicking, the typing, you name it, but at faster speeds and higher accuracy. So by incorporating emulation alongside other existing automation methods, RPA is able to do much more than, say, traditional low-code automation technologies. So really, at the essence, RPA helps liberate humans from the mundane and the boring tasks, and rather enabling humans to focus on the higher value-adding qualities we have as humans, such as creativity and innovation. And in that process, we're making people's lives and their works more strategic and more fulfilling and fun. So that's basically it, Ali.
So how does artificial intelligence and machine learning come into this, and how is it used to enhance the automation of processes? What is its significance?
Yeah, so starting with RPA, it initially focused on the reading, the clicking, the typing, essentially being the eyes and the arms of a human. However, the early days of RPA weren't really very good at decision making, or if you like, being the brain. And on the flip side, the AI and ML space was great at recognizing patterns and making decisions, but traditionally it was difficult to action and operationalize the outcomes from AI and ML. So in come the view of UiPath, and we think of RPA plus AI plus ML as if they are natural complements. Really, AI and ML brings the brain, while RPA is the eyes and arms. So they're 2 different things working together, and one is not a displacement for the other. So really what's happening is AI helps bring decision capabilities to robots, allowing them to be increasingly flexible and to interact with data in a variety of even more complex processes with less and less human involvement.
Are many human jobs at risk using this technology?
It's a great question, and it's a question that's been asked about so many different categories throughout the journey of technology. And look, we simply believe that automation is a net job creator. We see demand for automation has created demand for automation jobs and skills. And look, here's reality, as has been the case since the, so to speak, humankind. Some jobs will evolve, as they have throughout history. And what we see is that automation is enriching the employee experience by unlocking opportunities for their creativity and innovation. And our platform for automation makes it accessible to everyone. It's kind of interesting in the context of you and I sitting together on a Teams call, unfortunately not together. And one of the reasons for that being that we are still in the pandemic. So let me try to offer some examples that relates to COVID-19 that we've seen really accelerating digital transformation among all different types of businesses. So for example, Cleveland Clinic, they're using RPA to cut wait times at their drive-through COVID-19 testing facilities. The processes would take a human 2 to 3 minutes to execute, but UiPath executes it in 14 to 16 seconds. Another example would be Ecolab. They used UiPath robots to handle a 10x spike in hand sanitizer orders at the height of the pandemic. speeding up their operations and efficiency. And a third example would be New York State. New York State were hit so hard at the early part of the pandemic, and they responded to an unprecedented spike in unemployment benefit claims over a single weekend, deploying 200 robots to work through that backlog that otherwise would have taken humans years to complete.
But what would be the most useful industry, or the industry that would make the best use of this technology, in your opinion?
It's a good question. And listen, our tech can and is applied in all industries, in all verticals, in all countries globally. We see an ever-growing number of customers spanning industries including financial services, insurance, healthcare, telecom, retail, public sector, and they continue to choose UiPath for their automation journey.
Yeah, I mean, just watching the growth of UiPath indicates how fast people are adopting this technology. But still, the world is so big and so many people need to understand this technology. So what would your advice be to managers and CEOs of companies, and how could they learn and start adopting this technology?
In the intro, you mentioned that I've been in enterprise software for decades. Makes me sound very old. Look, over the years, I've had the fortitude of seeing many different categories of enterprise software. Here's the harsh reality. When you look at more complex enterprise software, such as ERP, it typically takes quarters, if not years, to get deployed and get into active use. And the ROI, return on investment, can take years. RPA automation, specifically from UiPath, is something we can deploy into production, into use in days and weeks. And we see ROI coming incredibly fast. So look, my 2 cents of advice is think about automation as a strategy, not just a tactical tool, but a strategy that really can help you transform how you run your business. And setting up the proper foundation for automation will yield much bigger returns at scale. So set up a center of excellence, appoint a leader for it, and make sure that you invest at scale. This is something that the entire enterprise, left to right, can benefit from. So yeah, that's my 2 simple sets of advice.
Now, Thomas, I have known you for 20 years, and you've worked for very large companies like Microsoft, much larger company than UiPath. So why did you join UiPath? That's a personal question from Ali to Thomas here.
Getting to meet UiPath was a very lucky moment for me. Look, I looked at it across a number of dimensions. I looked at the category, automation and RPA. It's the fastest growing category, according to Gartner, of all the MQs they track. And I saw UiPath clearly being the largest and fastest growing. As I mentioned earlier on, I saw that Gartner view UiPath as the leader 3 years in a row across both technology and innovation with a very strong roadmap. Now, UiPath is a product and engineering-led company, started with our founder and CEO, Daniel Dines. And I wanted to be in a company where the core DNA is product-centric and customer-centric. I looked at Daniel, our founder, CEO. I looked at the leadership team. I looked at the quality of our board of directors, our investors, and the overall team. I looked at the strength of the customer base, very low churn of the customers, very high net retention rate.
That's really great to hear, Thomas. I know that UiPath and our company, Ingram Micro, have a great global partnership. So, Thomas, it has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Great having you. And I really want to thank you for giving us the clarity on how this exciting technology will contribute to make the world a better place.
Yes, thank you, Ali. It's been a pleasure being here, and it's so nice to see you again.
Thank you again, Thomas. So my next episode will be an interview with a hacker. I hope this will give us insight on how hackers think and how they can penetrate our systems and devices, but also how we can protect ourselves. See you then.